And we're back.
Welcome to part 2, guys. With the most amazing Astara and Rae Sol. Holy Spirit active. You guys, no topic is off limit right now. We are having an incredible discussion. We are talking about the things that nobody talks about. And this is why we... Oh! What? This is what? Tell me what? Okay, this is why we're here. To unleash every corner of the universe. And share.
Do you remember where you left off?
Yes.
Okay.
What I was going to say is I'm a big believer that not everybody needs everything on their journey. So I feel, yes, whomever needs to look at their hoo-hoo,
Vagina.
yoni, cookie.
Say vagina.
No, I can say vagina. I'm just saying, I wanted to
She's
say
using
every
other
other
words.
word.
Yeah, she's saying cookie.
Like buchacha was
Cookie
another one we
monster?
used to use. Whomever feels like called to that, or they feel a resistance, they might want to do it. But like, will you catch me outside in a circle doing that? Probably not.
It will be inside though.
Well, I
In
just
a warm.
outside, inside.
Okay, listeners,
Will
let
you?
us know. Would you do this?
Not with a
Would
group
you,
of people.
Yeah,
Would you
I'll
do
do
a
it at home
circle
all day, every day.
A circle jerk, and
Not an actual jerk, but
with everybody in the same circle.
only women.
Taking a look at your cookie
Vagina.
and gazing upon those beautiful labias and
The menorah majora. The internal, external, and
Here we go,
learning
Virgo. Love it.
all about yourself. And we did an episode on this, Tiffany, and Betty. No, not Betty. I forget her name now.
You said it.
oh, you mean
just
on
said it.
fried green tomatoes? That's what they did on fried green tomatoes. And the one gal was like, "What the fuck?
She
I
had.
gotta what?"
She's. Oh, I'm so disappointed that it's not coming to my brain. It doesn't matter.
It'll come.
So she's a specialist.
That's what he said.
He's like, God damn it, bitch! You come and you come.
Yes, that's exactly.
He's like, my tongue. Never mind. Okay. So we were talking about if you were to hold a circle, and this is something that I've wanted to do to activate your inner goddess. And so this is what Tiffany is asking.
Would you do it?
Would you do it in a circle of other women?
We need to know our demographic. How many people are going to do it? So let's start the circle.
How many
Kristen,
are
Kristen, go.
going to?
You guys, just watch. It's gonna happen. It's part of
I
this
know
new
it
age.
will happen. It's
agree
happened.
with that.
I mean, in places like California.
That's where it is. That's where she's
Oh,
from.
see? Shocker.
So-
Sedona. Maybe in Sedona
So-
they're doing
And
it.
this is the thing. It's amazing
Sorry.
because they are empowering women.
It is.
And teaching them how
Okay,
to master orgasm and
Yes,
every
that's
time
great.
when they're having sex with their husband or their partner.
Yes, or their self.
themselves.
Great.
Because you
Great.
need to know. You need to know.
Okay,
Don't
but
be afraid
wait,
of touching it.
you don't need to know. Here's the thing.
No, you
Let
don't
me
need
go
to.
into the gray because that's
Okay,
where we want
let's
to go.
do it.
Yes, there are people that could use these beautiful workshops, gatherings, because they're disconnected from their body.
Yeah.
Right? And we could argue that everybody has more that they could connect with their body, right? But then if we get into this place where we start going into these extremes, we're losing it. So the thing is that I would love to see people connected to their bodies in a fuller sense.
Right.
And with that will come then the automatic connection to their vagina. So it's like, do we just want to focus on the vagina, or do, like, I like to go macro, and this feels a bit micro for me. And that's where I think my resistance is. It's like
for sure.
the micro is the actual physical technical parts of it. How about, do you allow pleasure into your life, and in what ways are you denying yourself pleasure? And it doesn't just have to be with your vag, but it could be with that, but it could also be with how you do your hair. Do you do your hair? How you wash your hair? Do you wash your hair? Do you put love into this? Do you not?
100%.
Taste, scent, smell. So it's like, I go macro, I go big. We're talking sacral chakra, yes. We're talking root chakra. So we can focus on it in just that physical way.
Just one class. That's just one class.
Or we
after
could
we've
say-
done 12.
Maybe we don't need to.
No, true.
I think a lot of
Maybe
it
we
comes
do.
from Kristen's probably experience of when it came time to her learning her body.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
I
where
totally
the
agree.
resonation comes in, because there may have been
There was
that
a
might
huge
not have
block
happened
for
for
me.
you. It was a huge
No,
block.
there's a huge block for everybody.
Yes.
But for my awakening didn't come from,
Yeah.
first of all, goop,
Same.
because sorry, we're not going to go there, but didn't come from there.
No judgment.
I'm gonna throw shade. There's no judgment on you. I'm gonna judge the goop, not on you. I'll judge Gwyneth Paltrow and the goop. I said it. But
oh jeez.
But
holy shit.
But yeah, exactly.
She's gonna fucking cancel us.
I'd like to see her try.
She is in no way affiliated with this podcast.
Yeah, Goop is in no way receiving kickbacks.
Yeah, I meant you.
Oh my. Yes, I am in no way. You guys blacked me out. You like bleep out every time my name or Sacred or Son was said, and you guys are like,
We want her along so bad.
they're like,
We're just gonna keep her quiet.
remember when we talked about entities? That's what this is right now. This dark form. Okay, sorry, I'll let you speak.
No, this is perfect. But Tiffany and I
I can't believe I just did that.
I
can believe
love
it.
a snort.
I believe it.
Oh, dang. I got out of nowhere.
Tiffany and I are our own enterprise.
Exactly.
So we do not have
Exactly.
anybody dictating what we say.
Exactly.
Hallelujah.
There's that hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Except the fucking
Tiffany.
the shit took down. We had a guest on our show and we talked about vaccinations.
Oh, of
and
course they did.
Yeah, they took it down.
Censorship.
We still have it within our
Hub?
recordings.
Yes, okay, great.
But it got taken off
Yeah.
of all of our platforms.
Because it was very, very close to the truth.
Yeah, I think now having those conversations is a lot different
Right.
than at that time,
Right.
because there was a lot of stigmatism
Censorship.
between
Yes.
behind everything, like
Mhm.
what was
Yes.
true, what was not true,
Mhm.
and anybody that was speaking that seemed to be against whatever was
They would be like,
bad. Right, it was bad, but
Yes.
now everything's being questioned,
And
Yes.
open.
and it's okay to now ask these questions, and it's okay now to step in your truth and do what's right for you, as opposed to what we're supposed
As opposed
to
to
do.
any
Yeah.
mandate. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
what were we talking about in part 1 when you were ending off?
Yeah, what were we talking about? We were
The
just asking us
entity?
about light languages and light
Yeah.
codes.
So there was
and you
something
wanted to
that I
talk about
wanted to
that. What?
touch base on
please.
fast. Because it was kind of about what you had ended off with.
Okay.
About,
I already don't.
I know.
I think it was like
She blacked
It's
out.
a lifetime ago.
the duality. So something that I've recently just learned is the Matthias Di Stefano information, and I just thought it was really powerful to share that instead of looking at things from a good versus bad or evil state, it's not. It's more of a distortion. So his theory, or what he has channeled, is more of, let's just say a child is born and that child isn't given very much love. There may have been a lot of trauma in his upbringing. His mom and dad could have been abused, maybe abused him. Maybe he saw a lot of violence. So now that love energy that was just brought earthside is got more of a distortion. So he would be distorted. And so as he ages and gets older, his view is going to be different than somebody that had a very loving childhood that was cooking, cleaning, kissing, singing, woohoo. So that creates the duality. Instead of right versus wrong, there's nothing wrong with it. We need this distortion in order to evolve and to change. Because if everything was tickety-boo and everything is like, oh my gosh, my life is so great, you're going to fucking stay the same.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and I will get a little bit deeper than that, because this is what I'm hearing right now. The distortion is there even with the second version of the upbringing. Like Ray and I had a very great, loving upbringing.
Yeah.
Everybody in our family has distortion, because
Totally.
that comes back to the codependence that Tiffany was talking about. Codependence creates distortion. So even the family that seems very loving, for the individual that is in need, which is this perfect being that comes earthside, as you like, I love the language that you use. It's already distorted because we're away from consciousness. We're away from source when we're in this 3D world. So no person, place, or thing is ever going to be able to give any individual enough to not be distorted.
You got it.
So the distortion is there, but it'll just be in different degrees.
That's right.
But without that distortion, like you're talking about, without getting what we need in every way, because we were not abused. We did have the parents that cooked and cleaned and kissed and tickety-boo. But the key was our parents had the distortion. So that automatically was transferred onto us,
100%.
which is what codependence is. And that's where our healing crises came in. But that distortion gave us the potential for the healing crisis, so we didn't stay the same, and we were able to continue and grow and evolve and be on this path of awakening.
Perfect.
So yeah, just important to know, it can look perfect. It doesn't feel perfect.
That's right. Totally.
Well,
Right?
if there's no lows, there ain't no highs.
Yes, exactly.
How the fuck are we ever supposed to have any type of epiphanies
That's Tiffany.
if we do not have these low points?
Yeah.
Which is the duality.
Exactly.
You
So
have to have
we
that
cannot learn these lessons unless if we've been in pain or sorrow in
100%.
one way or another, and it can look different from one person to the next. I have heard in the past of people comparing someone's pain compared to somebody else's.
Yes.
And that, I'm sorry, is a mirror of the judgment you have within yourself. Do not
Absolutely.
compare
Never
what someone's
compare.
gone through, because the pain, and I've had to actually teach my husband this, the pain feeling is the same.
You got it.
So here's,
Yeah.
let's bring it to the Course in Miracles, because this is where A Course in Miracles, which if people don't know what
Okay,
this
guys,
is,
this is her
look
tip.
up A Course in Miracles. It's great. They have a workbook. You can either do it through the workbook or you can do it through the audio, which
Course
Tiffany
in
and Rae,
or
A Course in
in
or of?
A Course of Miracles.
Of Miracles. A Course of Miracles.
Marianne
it's-
something.
I wouldn't even remember that. It's easy.
Williamson.
Google. No, it's
Sorry,
not
what is it?
Marianne Williamson. Sorry,
Nope.
don't listen to that.
I don't know. That
You know
A
what?
Course in Miracles.
Tiffany will do
Okay,
the notes
it's-
and you'll
yeah.
know.
Jesus' teachings channeled through two academics, so they were not religious and they
I'm
were
just gonna
not
say
spiritual.
Not religious.
They thought they were sitting down to write actually an academia-based book, and one of them, the woman I believe, was the one who started randomly channeling automatic writing, and it was Jesus' teachings. And so religion is not incorporated in it, but it does have religious speak because it's from the time
Okay.
that Jesus was alive, but ultimately really helps us understand duality, ego, love, suffering, pain, God, the Holy Spirit. And ultimately, God does not know the difference of you stubbing your toe or losing a contract and somebody being raped. Now, people
That's
don't want to hear
perfect.
this,
No, this is
and I know this
perfect.
is a nerve pain center for people,
Trigger.
but we cannot compare pain because to God, to the divine, to source, to the oneness, to Mother Earth, there is no difference in pain. So when we are comparing, we're in ego to say my suffering is more than yours or their
Bingo.
suffering is greater than that person's,
Bingo.
and we're just stuck in ego and we don't get anywhere from that. Pain is pain.
Yeah.
It feels the same for everybody. So yes, you are right, but A Course of Miracles really helps you understand it in really approachable layman's terms while interpreting the teachings that are at a high vibrational frequency of old biblical speak. So there is a workbook, which I'm sure they have an online version. There is the audio that Rae and I like to do. I've also done the work. No, I haven't done the workbook, but
Sometimes these audiobooks are so good that you
They're
should have a hardcover also.
yes. So I
then
have
you
the
can
hardcover.
highlight,
Yeah.
fold the pages,
Yeah.
and whatever.
Yeah.
Good
And
for-
the book itself, just A Course of Miracles, it is like a Bible. The pages are the same as Bibles are, and it's really
Oh.
heavy text because it's super high vibrate. It's like 12th dimensional frequency.
Yeah.
So I don't recommend that. I recommend the audio, or I recommend first the workbook. The workbook gives you one lesson a day, and each lesson, when you do it online, so there's an app, I can tell you what the app is, or do it online, then they give you an explanation from a human who's alive right now's perspective of how to integrate that teaching into your daily life.
So cool.
It's super effective, it's super amazing, it's super powerful, it's life-changing. It's not
I
for
can't
everybody.
wait.
It's not for everybody. Because so some people, if they reach to it and they're like, this isn't for me, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But for those that it is,
It's gonna reach you at divine time.
that's exactly
Yes.
I mean, I've recommended readings and books to people, and they did not understand the verbiage.
Yeah.
Because it will
And
find
it was just too. They hadn't learned the things beforehand.
That's
yet.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that, yeah.
And that's
so
okay.
Yeah.
that's fine.
Perfect.
But I'm very much looking
But the
forward to
workbook,
checking that out.
I feel, could work for people easier than trying to listen to the audio or the book if they aren't ready. Because the workbook will just take one sentence that is a teaching, make it applicable to everyday life, and
Is
then
it like the
ask you to
12-step
observe
program?
it. It's 365,
Yeah.
so it's one for every day of the year. And when
Yeah.
I did it, I very much like to sit with things, so I did it longer. So if I was on a lesson and I was like, you know what, I didn't put enough focus into this today. I don't feel like it's you can let it take as long as it needs to, just don't skip ahead.
Okay.
So it's a dedication because it's minimum 365 days. It's minimum a full year.
Wow.
But really helps you understand the duality, really helps you understand the distortion, really helps you understand ego versus essence, our heart self, and how to make it applicable in our life and when we are out of essence, because we go into ego so easily. That's what our human existence is. That's what we came here to experience. But most people only think ego is like, look at that bitch over there. I hate her. No, ego is so minute. We just finished talking about judging ourselves and criticizing ourselves. We don't even understand that's going into our ego. A lot of people still think ego means that person has a big ego. They're flaunting themselves.
Right.
That's not what we're talking about when we talk about ego.
It's
so some people even need to just understand that.
Yeah,
well,
that's a good point.
We have explained ego before, but let's do it again because I mean we have over 50 episodes.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, so let's explain ego real quick. Go.
We're all like, wait a minute.
Well, because Kristen and I have explained it from our perspective, but you guys have so much to offer here, so you're bringing so much to the table. I would love to hear it from your mouth.
Okay, well, I guess I'll start.
Yeah, please do.
Fill in.
Yep.
I would say there's a few things that come up. Ego is our ability to survive, right? So anything that is like covering our basic ability to survive, the needs of how we navigate in the world. So that's kind of an abstract concept. Speaking of Course in Miracles, an example is if somebody you see in pain and you judge them, that is your ego. But if you also go, oh my God, I'm so sorry that you're in pain, and you are identifying with their pain, that is also your ego. So when you move away from that, you see them in grace and reverence, and you go, what a beautiful blessing for them to go through, and you don't find a self-identification with the experience one way or another.
That's like, you know, when somebody goes, oh, I don't want to say this about myself, so let's use it as somebody else. Somebody else goes, oh my gosh, I just found out that let's use an extreme, I've got cancer. And then the next person, you know what they say? Oh, my grandpa had cancer, because they're trying to relate to that person's, instead of just holding space, being present for that person who's going through that experience. That would be
that's ego identification.
To say, I'm identifying with you, that means I relate to you, that means we're the same. And that you're going through something, but I know what you're going through. I
automatically know. Ego is the duality. So when we keep talking about duality,
I love it.
We're talking about the light and the dark, the good and the bad, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. Ego is the duality of the soul. So ultimately, anything that is less than love, which there's a lot, that's why I said it comes of it, is ego.
Okay.
That's how I would identify it on the spot without
I think that's it.
about
Yeah, like for layman's terms, like that would probably help.
How
because
would
I think it seems...
you?
Well, it's same thing. Okay. It really comes down to like something less than your higher self.
That's exactly.
Right? Like the what if, coulda, shoulda, woulda, fear-based,
the
mirroring,
the good or the bad. Even is
like
ego.
like
something's better than or something's
labeling.
less than.
Labeling.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like it has to be this certain way or whatever it is. Are you okay there, buddy?
Just was tapping in.
Okay. All right.
I remember when Astara did the Course in Miracle workbook many years ago. We were talking about relationships. Are you guys gonna have a giggle fest?
No, but she was like, "Are you okay, buddy?" And I just knew she was gonna fucking see me at that time.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
well, her eyes were closed.
my eyes were closed.
But if you're listening, you wouldn't know. You have to go to our YouTube channel.
And my eyes were closed, and then she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "I'm just fucking sleeping, buddy." I was just tapping in.
Just taking a nap. Okay, you were saying
yes, and we were talking about relationships, and you were at a point in the workbook where it was like all relationships are ego because they're projection of your form and like your experience on this plane.
Yes, and let us be clear. No, we could do a whole talk on this, but we'll only touch on it. Yes. But let us be clear. When we say relationships, we mean every form, like sister, brother, person at the grocery store, lover, daughter, grandma, colleague. We mean any form of relationship. Yeah. This relationship is ego, because we are literally projecting. I'm projecting who I need you to be. If I'm in my ego, which, to be clear, the average human is in their ego like 99% of the time. It's not their fault. We could do a whole thing on ego programming, society. We could do a whole thing, but keep going, because this is great where you're going with this.
Yeah, and I remember you kind of paraphrasing, but looking at me and saying, well, then how can I have any relationships with anybody if what's the point of being here if everything...
We basically unfolded it to the point where I couldn't make sense of why there was a point of anything then.
That's right.
Which is when you get real up into the 8th chakra, it goes into such consciousness. When we get into universal truth and God consciousness, it does get so confusing because our logical, rational mind wants to bring it into the 3D form. Mm-hmm. So
that is a human thing to do.
It is a human thing to do.
We're such curious beings, and we just always want to try to understand things.
We want to categorize.
Yeah,
that's right.
Make
organize.
We want to put $1 to it. We want to put a time frame on it.
Yes. We do want to put a label on it.
Yes.
We do want to identify with it.
That's ego.
Right. And so that is ego in its essence.
And you know that feeling, and I hope everybody listening has gotten to this place, and if you haven't, it's okay. It's coming. When you're in that meditative state and you're just clear and you're just feeling connected and you just feel one, that is the ultimate freedom feeling of just like, I'm just, nothing matters. That fight doesn't matter. That thing your child did will not matter in freaking 6 days from now. Like nothing matters. And that's a really beautiful place to always come back to, because then you go, okay, you know what? I'm going to step outside of myself, not get into the washing machine, observe and go, you know what? That freaking conflict thing or what I really was holding on to doesn't really matter.
It's good to know the difference. That's why we want to get quiet every so often.
Totally.
So we know when we want to feel that Zen feeling.
And you know, sometimes when other people feel that is when they have an orgasm.
Yes.
When you eat something you really, really enjoy.
When you're working out, when you're walking, when you're running, when you're driving, when you're getting ready in the morning, when you're cooking, when you're making your coffee.
Yes. And that's the brain drugs, right? The brain drugs are releasing and we're going, But that's what you're saying with the meditation is moving beyond this part. You go there, it's all there. It's all there for you
there
to tap
is
into.
Crown chakra, higher crown for people who aren't watching.
Thank you.
And I think it's important to also note then that the ego doesn't go anywhere. It's really popular for people to talk about the death of the ego, which is just conceptual and abstract. As long as we are alive as a human being, we have an ego. We cannot be alive if we don't have an ego.
The
ego
disappear.
Resides in the brain. Yeah. So we have an ego forever. The goal is to get into that Zen bliss state, meditation, whatever we just described, the brain drug, enough that you realize the value of being in that frequency and vibration versus the ego. So the ego, the analogy we like to use is the ego goes to the back of the bus.
Yes.
And if it's coming along for the ride, it needs to abide by your heart and soul's higher principles, which is being in that love space and resonance and alignment as much as possible. The ego is always going to try to poke and try to pull you and drive that bus. But when you get a taste for your higher self driving the bus, you'll never want that ego there. And then we feel out of alignment. We feel that distortion.
And then we make it a bad thing.
Right. And it's not.
It's not a bad thing.
It's not, because that's what's being human.
Yeah.
So the shitty thing is that all over the world, every day, people are making themselves wrong for even existing, and they don't even realize it.
That's right. I always say this to my clients: write down your thoughts. Like your real thoughts. What are you actually saying to yourself? If you fucking said that to someone, you probably get a punch in the head.
Yes. And they'd probably be so in shame that they said that to somebody else, but they'll say it to themselves.
Say it to yourself
over and over.
Condition. It's now normal. It's normal to say I fucking hate my body or look at my ear and my nose and whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But it is definitely easy to condition ourselves, and that's why it's really important that we need to practice. Anything that you practice, you're gonna get fucking good at it.
Yeah.
Whether it's judging yourself, judging others, or practicing meditation and ascending into your highest self in that time, in that moment. You can get really good at that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Positive affirmations.
That one. Bleh.
No, that's good. Love it.
No, it's good.
Can we touch base on the light language? Because this
I
is
knew you were gonna say that.
She
I've
just
been
had
waiting.
that puppy dog.
I know.
eye.
She had that light language twinkle.
Yeah, because I'll just share, when we were in the circle, these two amazing souls were just tapping in and doing the sound healing, singing, making sounds. Light language is what it's called. They can tap or talk about that a little bit more. But the resonance within my soul and my body when you guys were
said the same
speaking
thing.
and singing, I was just like, I'm sure you saw, obviously, like, I ended up sitting up. I
don't even remember.
Yeah.
I
just wanted to get closer to the sound and to the singing. And I was like, I wanted more. I didn't want you guys to stop with the sounds. I was just like, this is so cool. And I just visualized literally like Avatar in my head. It was so cool.
Actually, there was a part, Astara, when you were like, this part gets me emotional, and she started quivering a bit. At that moment, that's when it was like, it's come to my attention that like I feel people's feelings like really fast. And as soon as you fucking did that, just this tear started. It was like, oh shit. And I'm like, I can feel what she's
funny
feeling.
because actually when that happens to me with a client or another person or in a group, I actually don't know if that is even me or if I'm feeling one or many of the others.
Right.
So it is the snake eating its own tail. How do I say it?
Ouroboros.
Yeah, the Ouroboros, because we could never prove which of us was feeling that.
It was a
so
mirror.
I like that you're saying that, because we're probably the infinity just bouncing it.
100%.
We're all just going like this the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Bouncing it off each other.
It is really hard to detect where any of the feelings and sensations are really coming from when you're in a group setting like that, because you're
With
sharing so much energy. Yeah.
But I just want to say, when you are doing that, you know you're coming from a beautiful, compassionate space, and your heart is wide open.
Yeah, and just trust it, and just allow it to happen, surrender, and all the things. Yeah, it was. I can't wait to do another one.
I know. I can't wait for us to do another.
Yeah, girl, for real.
So
like,
I was gonna be there. We were gonna be there the Wednesday I had my little man. That's okay.
That's okay.
Next,
it was different too, just you know.
Yeah, I believe
it would have been
even
like
if it was the same, I wouldn't.
Did you guys do another one right
we
after?
did it in Vancouver.
Just
wait.
how many nights?
What day is it?
Sundays?
Well,
I don't know.
we're
Wednesday.
doing another one in Vancouver.
Okay, do you have a date already?
Yeah, it's gonna fill up quick. That's why, and I don't know.
Well,
if
we're sharing it now. This is gonna.
Are we sharing it?
I don't. Yes, but
It's
I'm
already
sharing
gonna
it.
be done.
Alright.
So
It's
you
already
guys,
gonna be done.
their circle's gonna be done because
Yes.
it's so
Yes.
Actually, maybe not, because it's for the 222
Yeah.
portal.
It's the two.
And then we have a March date set already.
We already
as
have
well.
Okay, so then guys, we'll share the March date
Right.
for
Did I
everybody.
say March 20th, right?
I
Yes,
believe
March
so.
20th. It's in Vancouver.
Okay.
But the whole thing is, I would like to do something over here for the 22222, and then we could do something over here. So depending where anybody is, there could be a different date and
We'll
time
post
for
it.
people to join.
Totally, we'll post it.
So
We're
that's
gonna-
something we need to
yeah.
work
We'll
out.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Light language, guys.
Okay, I'll let.
Okay. So basically, light language is what is described as sounds or symbols. You can you can have visual symbols created. You can create them yourself, and it activates your soul's divine blueprint, your soul frequency. They're basically keys
to
unlock
blocks.
aspects of your vibration, and blocks, yes, to ascend your vibration and allow for your ascension. And these are things that your soul already agreed to. All of our collective souls already agreed that these sounds, these symbols,
at these times, in these ways,
yes, would be here to unlock this or dissolve any emotions that you're holding on to, low vibe energy, patterns of thoughts, patterns of beliefs.
it can be anything and everything.
Yes.
Because when we say unlock, it's limitless what could be
That's so
unlocked.
cool.
You know, it could be the perfect relationship comes into your life because of it. It could be, that you become a meditation guru. It could be that you move to another place in the world. We don't need to know. The point is, it's all things that the conscious mind doesn't need to know, and that the subconscious higher soul, oversoul presence knows, and that's all that matters.
Right.
It's supposed to be a mystery for us to be in that trust and surrender where we're like, right place, right time.
Yeah.
I felt good when I heard or saw or whatever, and that's all that matters.
It's a feeling.
Because it's coming, the big push. Light languages has been around for a long time, but the big push is coming after the age of Aquarius while we're in the 5D ascension of birthing the new earth. So that's the reason why, because that's when our souls already knew, check mark, this is a portal in time that is going to be revolutionary.
Because I was just going to ask if that was not, I don't want to say condescending to what our last, this will be the episode before.
Right.
We talked about it in our last episode here. About putting meaning to things that do not hold the value, like old ways of thought, old ways of training.
Yeah.
Like, are these symbols part of that? Is that part?
Well, I would say yes and no.
Yeah, I know. I was like, no, and then I'm like, well, yes.
Right.
Yeah. The key for me in my soul's resonance, this doesn't have to be anybody else's truth or the way that they describe it, right? Another light language practitioner or follower is that when you are speaking or creating, I also do them movements with my hands. When I do energy work, they come through. There is always going to be an overarching intention of everything that I'm doing, whether it is just to take care of this person. The light languages or light codes or light symbols, we don't need to know exactly what they are. They still work. So the reason why for me, they fall into like the no, it's not a part of the old, because out of the old we were more dealing with the conscious mind and connecting it to the subconscious. With this, we're saying subconscious is no idea. Do I even know that when they speak it, their intention was to help birth in the new earth? Doesn't matter. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So again,
you're
it's
just
great.
channeling
That's
a language or a sound.
Right.
That's because it doesn't matter. It's just a vibration coming from you.
Thank you.
That's coming
that
to
is exactly
perfect.
feel. There you go.
Yes.
Because this gets me going into crop circles. And
And I'm not talking about the ones that I used to leave on hotel beds. Any of y'all past people would understand right now.
I was like, we are on a need to know.
Well, I say crop circles because the study behind those, Dolores Cannon was part of that investigation group, and those crop circles are coming in different patterns every time. They're never one of the same.
Yes. Okay, so when we were coming into the age of Aquarian, December 21st, 2020.
You know that's her birthday, right?
Okay, well, we need to talk about that. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Right?
Okay.
See?
The divine was saying sound and movement is the healing of the future. Let go of the old ways of it needing to be, I take this training, I get this certificate, not to downplay any certificate or training that anybody, disclaimer. And so we already knew this, but when the light languages came through, the way that it happened, y'all, is like we didn't even know what it was.
No.
I literally randomly. Okay, you want to talk about signs and symbols?
I want to fucking tag in the love.
I've already talked about. I've already talked about off. There we go. Number 2. Off camera.
Can we please light this? I just need this.
No,
lit.
it's dead. We need another
Do you have
one.
another
We've
tea light?
outlived that burnage of the tea light.
You didn't know?
You want to know? Okay. You want to talk about signs and symbols? I don't have tea lights or candles because I just don't. Okay. So today I was in my counter and I was getting something for Cassius, and the tea cup fell, and a candle fell out. So I have a fucking candle because this was going to happen.
Oh my god, go get it. That is a sign or symbol. Oh my god, this was great. Okay, then I'll talk about
to be a part of the movie.
Other signs and symbols is I have had a tumultuous relationship with Instagram, meaning that because I am such a strong empath and all the clairs, I don't like the overarching energy of the Illuminati Kabbalistic control over social media, okay?
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing for people a different day. Maybe never. But I finally
I think it's
like,
pretty apparent that there's a big brother watching.
yeah, right? And I don't like the feeling of
Yeah.
how politics, anyways, there's a lot of mind control going on. So I left Instagram. In that, I randomly got back on Facebook, which was another form of social media that I had denounced because, like, Facebook, come on, it's like saying MySpace at this point.
Yeah.
But there was this thing called Facebook Marketplace, and I was a queen who was learning about selling her things instead of giving them away. So I went on Facebook Marketplace thinking I was just getting back on Facebook. I killed all my friends. That's what I was about to say. I deleted all my friends.
That's
so
hilarious.
I had nobody except Ray
Yeah.
and like one person in another part of the world, which is weird that Facebook is how we were still connected but not even connecting. And I began somehow, just by starting up my account, all these random people started adding me. I don't know why. So I'd be like, oh,
amazing.
no, I literally had nothing on my page. Like, it was just like out of the, she knows this is
They
very
were like
weird.
from all over the world.
All
It
over
was
the world.
Actually really weird.
Like, very weird way. All these people. And so I'd add one, I wouldn't add another, I'd add 5.
Oh.
And in that, I randomly ended up adding a woman. And in my exploration of her page, I saw that she did healing sessions. And for some reason, I was like, let me look at this person's website. Now, I reached out to her.
Whoa.
And in the session, she didn't even do light language. Yes, she did do a bit of light languages. And then she said a bit about light languages. That was it. Okay? That was it. Then, it's March 2021. I've already said I started channeling to do this project of Sacred Earth Sun with Ray. We're channeling, the way we do projects is very specific. I won't get into it. But at one point when we were trying to figure out the name, Ray says to me, oh, these words came in, and she said them to me, and I was like, wait, like I can feel the energy. It's like, it's either German, it's Austrian. We started going on Google Translate, did it. Long and short of it is, the very next day, or a week later, we understood it was light language sounds she was channeling that helped lead us to the name Sacred Earth Sun. And within a week, I was in an energy session and I started doing light languages, and I didn't want them to come through because that judgment, criticism of self. I was like, what am I going to sound like? It's a Reiki. I do this Reiki session. And all of a sudden, I just started doing, and I was like,
what were you doing? What was it?
I'm speaking out loud, and I don't speak in Reiki. I'm doing an energy session for somebody.
Wow.
And all this stuff. And then I started making sounds like, I don't even know if the sound can come. And I was like, kept trying to push it down.
Sounds like a dying dolphin.
It does sound like a dying dolphin. But I knew it was like extracting, because I don't do true Reiki. I do shamanic Reiki that I've channeled on my own. I'm trained in the Usai tradition of Reiki, but it's never been what I've done because they've always given me.
Same as like
So
Tiffany, and it's funny.
I'm just saying,
she
like,
didn't teach that way.
Yeah.
But normally I'm not giving any sounds during Reiki except breathing. Okay,
of course.
so
Yeah.
this
Is that
was new.
changed now?
Yeah.
It is like all over the freaking
Just
place.
like
what
at
we
the
did.
circle.
Yeah.
I did.
It's perfect.
Because this has been a full year, almost a full year. In March, it'll be a full year that all this has transpired.
Oh,
Yeah.
So the point is, though, that we didn't even know. So then when we started talking about light languages, we researched how to describe it because she was doing it and I was doing it. And we would start playing the bowls. We'd be in workshops and it would just start coming in. It was very surreal, okay?
Through voice.
Yeah,
Voice.
but then
in the Reiki, I just like
Even
it
that
just
you
comes.
doing, like,
Yes.
I
And
loved
there's
it.
all
It's like,
sorts of
do it
things
again.
they do. I say they because it's
Your
working
team.
through me.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things. Sacred
Of course.
geometry. It's very interesting.
Metatron is the
And that
It
is
was
the
I have to
point
share
of
something with
learning
you.
all of these tools
Yeah.
because
Yes.
everybody's makeup, yes, we're all one of the same, but we all have a different combination.
That is
Yes.
exactly.
And it's really important that we utilize and be open to having these tools in front of us for when we need to use them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's never going to be the same. And
No.
I
It shouldn't
be the same. And I do this with my health and fitness business. When I'm taking on clients, I need to hear their needs and concerns. So then I can identify how to treat, but like how to navigate them through their
guide them.
Yes. We both said guide.
Yes, because guide. We're guides.
Owe me a pop.
We're guides.
Owe me a celery juice. Not pop. Come on.
I mean, every now and then I like a dirty pop.
Oh,
every now and then.
I do not.
Every now and then.
I'm gonna try to carbonate
Can I share?
celery juice.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay.
I love celery juice, but every now and then I want a dirty pop.
Really?
There's a time and a place, right?
You're our side, so enjoy it. Because guess what? When we're freaking transcend over to the other side, we ain't getting no pop.
I mean, I might have more pop over there.
Dude, we have an abundance of it. We have whatever we
want. Guys, you're not on over there. Come on. You're just internal, like, love being. You're not drinking a pop.
Well, it might be. It's equivalent of, exactly. Tiffany, let's start a pop business in the ethers. Let's start a pop business.
Juicy dick, I'm going to have a big juicy dick.
Why do you think people are waiting in line to come here to learn lessons and to experience the 3D
I don't
realm
know
of
if
pizza?
we're learning. I don't know if we're waiting in line. For me, I feel
that's
like
bodhisattvas. That's that whole teaching in Buddhism. The bodhisattva is this like semi-deity. They come to earth to experience all the pleasures of earth.
That's right.
But they are these higher, they're basically describing humans.
Yes.
But they just created it in a hierarchy of the religion, which was like humans are trying to attain that level.
Exactly.
Anyways, blah, blah, blah. But
okay.
Light languages.
Yes.
Celery juice.
No, we're saying something. So Tiffany, the way that she does energy healing, and I'm not even going to label it as Reiki. It's energy
I know, I hate
healing.
calling it Reiki because
that's basically what it's come down to.
Tiff does it in the most beautiful massage way.
Oh God, I need to see you.
Feels so nice.
I did it in my art teacher. She's like, I've never seen anybody do that. I've never seen that. She's like,
fascinating.
Yeah, she was like
completely different than me.
Yeah,
and then I did it to Tiff, and Tiffany absolutely loved it. Completely different than each other. Same technique.
This is why I love teaching Reiki, because when I do Reiki workshops, do you want to know the greatest thing is? I magically work in that everybody works on me at one point.
Ooh.
And I really get to feel how beautiful it is that everybody does it in a different way, but it is so amazing from each person in their own way. It's actually, I'm pretty lucky. You should talk to your teacher about this.
That reminds me of like orgasm.
Yeah, no, it is. It's like bliss state. Yes, 100%.
So you're getting it done all at the same time?
It depends on the size of the workshop, what the circumstances are. Sometimes I do. Other times I've helped people gain their confidence by volunteering myself to be their cadaver, because one of the things, I don't know if this happened for y'all, that can get in people's way of getting their confidence is they'll say, I don't really know anybody that will actually let me do it to practice. And I always say, well, practice on me. Right? Yeah. But people can be scared because I'm their teacher. I'm like, no, I'm not judging you or schooling you. I literally give you the damn rate.
But you will give me the healing.
I will give you feedback.
That's right.
I think it's really good if you have animals to practice on your animals.
Absolutely.
So if that ever comes up,
absolutely
suggest maybe that, because like
I do, but people get attached that it'll be 2 years later and they'll be like, well, yeah, I've been giving it to my dog, and I'll be like, I love that your dog is getting all the Reiki in the world.
Now it's time used to a human.
Yeah, because there's their fear. I didn't have that fear. I wanted to dive in the minute that I learned.
Yeah.
But even like my sister, me being like, can you please give Reiki to people?
Well, geez, this really opens up a door of why that is and why people are probably resistant to trust their abilities.
That's exactly.
And what, like you said earlier, is to describe ego. Train us and train people what that really means. Because if we have an understanding of what the 3D realm is, how we, like you said, how the fuck are we going to ascend to 5D?
Right.
And transfer that energy.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Protecting.
And for me, the resistance really wasn't about being afraid of doing it wrong. I know I can do it. It's actually a deeper issue that I have been working on, which is about giving love freely.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what Reiki and energy healing really is.
It's
about
love,
it was about
baby.
controlling my love to others and controlling others' love to me, so I felt safe. And it's part of that closet and the cocooning.
The ego.
Yeah. And so the expectation of a human who can give me in words what they may or may not have experienced, whereas if I give Reiki to a place, if I give Reiki to an animal or tree, there's no
expectation.
Yeah.
There's no expectation.
Oh, I see.
You see?
Yeah.
So, and that it could be still the fear of doing it wrong for some people.
Of my clients, if not all, it was the fear of doing it wrong.
You can't do anything wrong.
No, you can't. And that is the number one teaching of Reiki. But because that's so big and abstract, right? We're up here again. Then it seems even more unattainable.
Right? Yeah.
You know? Yeah. You know when there are people who will criticize children's art because it's just all there.
Gross.
That can seem more scary to them, like that a tree is pink and the water is black and the sun is brown, because it's too ambiguous. It needs to be, the sun has to be yellow and the tree has to be green and the water has to be blue, because then we know the rules and then we can feel good or bad or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Safe. But with Reiki, because it really is just getting the attunement and then learning your own signature of what your sounds and movement and process is, it can be too ambiguous. People are afraid of that, and they get stuck in the right or wrong, which is the ego. It's not. The teaching is it's all right as long as you're not harming your client and touching an area that you shouldn't be.
Yes,
it's all right.
It's all with intentions.
That's
intentions behind the way that you use your crystals, your stones, the energy that you put out.
The light
others.
in the room, the smell in the room, whatever. You know what I mean?
I absolutely love working with bodies. It is awesome. Guiding somebody into that state, using my heart, connecting. You know how euphoric it feels for me?
The beautiful thing about doing it is you get to feel it too.
To channel through.
Yeah.
And like I will just be like feeling such incredible beauty. Like I've cried because it's just such 100%. A beautiful feeling. And the music, and it's just like, I'm doing this and helping someone else, and this is working through me. Like what a beautiful
miracle.
Energy exchange.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that somebody's trusting of me, and this, it's so beautiful. Like you can't even, I literally am like, oh my God, I love working with bodies, because the person is in a relaxed state and I'm just flowing energy through it. And there's so many other things now that's just naturally happening that I didn't even
you're
train
operating
to
outside
do.
of the physical self.
Yes,
and that
exactly.
is euphoric within.
That is exactly.
Within its own.
And like
So
I visualize
you're manipulating in the 3D world, and then you're like, look at
transcending that.
That's right.
And that's alchemy. So
and
you're getting to be
stuff,
the alchemist.
Blockages from their body, implants, anything. Like it's just, I didn't train or test or whatever, not test, but train to do. It's just happening.
Yeah.
It's
Which is why it's beautiful.
Allowing.
When you can, this is why I want people to not just work on animals, not that there is not value. The animals need as much help as everybody else, but we're not as likely or as quickly to get to that place where, like for me, spirit, like I am grateful to my Reiki master, but my real training came the minute I left my trainings, and spirit guided me. So you working in the way that you do with spirit guiding you, whether you realize it or not.
Oh, yeah,
and so all of my mastery, which doesn't come from a book, which doesn't come from the traditional fundamentals of Reiki. In fact, I mostly don't use any of them at all. And I teach that way too.
Rebel.
I teach that way too. I say, I'm going to give you this book and I'm going to tell you this, but don't ever look at it again. You know what I mean? Because I want them to be the you and the you and the you, and that's where my feedback comes in, is when I can feel a person is in their head, and that's my feedback, is like, relax into it.
Just
You've got this. Because you were so nervous, I could feel you stiff and hovering. Don't. You're going to hurt your back if you do this 5 times. Relax. It's okay. If your person gives you permission, get in there. If they're not okay with it, they'll let you know.
Yeah, I always ask.
Get out of your head. Get out of your head. You know what I mean? That's the feedback I'm giving. Some people get heavy-handed. So it's like, yo, you are too heavy. Some people, too light. They're afraid. Like I promote hands-on Reiki.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I'm like, hey, you guys want to go above, do whatever the hell you want. I'm like, get on the body. That's what I resonate with. If you resonate above the body, do that. Spirit tells me now, But for years, I only did hands-on Reiki.
Okay.
With everything. So full permission to touch. Everybody who came to me always gave me full permission to touch. So yeah, Reiki it's a relationship. So the initiation, your attunement is relationship building. I wish everybody to have a relationship with Reiki.
And we all do it.
We all do it already.
We all do Reiki, guys. You guys.
Already.
And for those who are resistant to meditation, you already fucking meditate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You meditate all day long.
All day long.
It's just,
yeah.
We have
it's our natural state of being.
It is.
Yeah.
It's 100%. And if you don't sit and get quiet with yourself and you're resisting that, it means you're just uncomfortable in your own head or your skin or whatever. You got to get clear with that.
And this could trigger some people because there is some people that are very uncomfortable to get into a meditative state because it's very lonely and an alone feeling. So it's the perfect place to start.
Or even fear of the unknown.
And fear of the
letting
that was
go
me
and
before.
being in the fear of the unknown.
Yes, I had a huge thing with this. I got into the meditative state. I'm like, okay, then I'm letting go, and then I was like, oh, you need to open your eyes. What if when you open your eyes that there's like something in your room? Freaking myself out. So I was like, ego was not allowing me.
Yeah.
My ego was like, no. You're scared. Or I would be like in this beautiful state, and then I'd be thinking about my son, like, oh, is he okay? Or could something be happening? No, I just had to let all that go.
You had to just trust and surrender.
Trust and surrender and get past that and overcome it. And then once I did, I was like, oh, yes.
Because
this meditation is amazing.
What was waiting for you on the other side. So the thing that happens with people on their spiritual journey is ego knows when it's about to lose control.
You got it, sister.
And so ego will grip even harder to keep you, because you would probably have said, well, I was not a paranoid mother before that. It's not like I was sitting here all the time being like, what's happening?
Never.
But suddenly when you got into the state where you were going to connect in alignment with your God self and form that relationship, the remembering of the relationship, then ego is like, no, let's hold on. And that's what we have to be aware of when we are on our journey, no matter where we are. The minute we get that force overdrive of it kicking in, know that you're on the verge of a breakthrough. Ego does not want you to be in the driver's seat.
Okay, I know we only have like less than 10 minutes, but I want to touch on that real quick. Wait a minute. I just got a brain fuck again. Okay, you said...
I said, no matter where we are on our journey, when we're about to push through something...
Oh, right. Okay.
Great.
So I've heard people, and I've even done it myself, where you've done all this work, and you've had all these epiphanies, and then all of a sudden, it's like one day you're back in your old ways, and you're fucking in like hiding under your covers and deep sadness and all of that. What I did is I thought, oh fuck, I'm back into my old ways now. I'm like putting a belief system just even on that. But what was really happening was it was a breakthrough. That part of in my experience, that part of me died.
Yes.
And it was reliving all of the things that was causing me pain, and it caused me pain all in that one time, in that moment. And I saw it at the time a sign of weakness.
Right.
But
which is what the conditioning did.
Exactly.
But you were really having a healing miracle.
Yes. We don't, and people don't realize that. When you're having these breakdown moments and you're like, you can't stop the tears and you can't stop the emotion.
No, because
that's a moment of truth.
There's so much conditioning that when you experience emotion in any overt form, that it is negative.
Right.
No, that's conditioning.
Yeah.
Emotion in all form, overt or covert, is power. That's our true power. So the conditioning is to keep us powerless again. Yeah. So what did you do? You went into powerlessness. You went into shame and guilt.
Yeah.
Because you must be wrong for feeling that deeply. Yeah. Because what's happening? Loss of control. That is negative. No, loss of control is very powerful.
It is.
And you know, those thoughts went through my head, and it wasn't until the next day and the day after that and the day after that I had realized that part of me had died. And it just, it never had an effect on me ever again the same way. Like,
I remember you saying, you're like, Kristen.
I shared this with you.
You said, Kristen, this will never happen again.
No.
I fully
died.
Like, I get it. You're like, it was like the best thing that happened to you.
Yeah, it was an awakening almost.
great.
Beautiful.
That's amazing.
It was crazy. Just the old belief system, not good enough. Imposter syndrome. It was fucked. It was like after we did it was after a recording with one of our mentors, Stevie, and after we were done.
How long ago was this story?
This was This was before your like life-changing moment.
Before I was in a women's shelter.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
This has
so this was like
podcast.
months ago. Months and months ago.
But how many months ago?
When did you go?
So that was August, so probably June or July. I think June.
Oh, really?
June.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's just because it feels like it was coinciding with really big karmic cleansing that was already starting.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about this, and again, I'm going to say this, but I believe for you that it's never going to happen again, but I am going to caution some things.
Sure.
Perfect.
Because it feels like that was completion of a karmic cycle of a fractal of your holographic self in another lifetime where you're already existing at the same time.
Right.
So we refer to it as the past life, but it's really the life now that you're in, but a different holograph of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Alternative reality.
That's exactly. So it feels like there was completion from that overlapped. So you were dropping timelines and changing timelines. There's a lot of timeline shifting going on then, okay? But the reason why we caution to say it'll never happen again is that because we have so many other fractals of us, and because you are so fractaled in everything that makes up who you are, to use the words that like it died, then you're saying that there are parts of you that need to leave you, but you are the whole. So maybe you had the completion of whatever the learning, but it's still there, and it could be activated again because it could be a different fractal
I
of you.
agree with you more.
So I've done it to myself. This is why I'm saying this to you.
Right.
And then years later, I've gone into healing crisis because I was like, but I've already like what? And I like almost lose my mind for a bit because it's happening all over again in a different way, and I can't understand it because I already thought it was gone.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's going to happen to you.
No, but it's very
That
valuable.
was
I think
big learning
is
for me.
a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
And the reason
unknown is
why
unknown.
it is, and the reason why was because the past life karma from it did complete, but then other lifetimes came through in this accelerated way in times because of all the ascension stuff going on, where all the timelines were merging and they are all collapsing and going on top of each other. I couldn't make it make sense to this.
Yeah.
But it's because it was from other times.
Right.
Does this make sense?
Absolutely.
And hopefully our followers and listeners
can understand.
And if you guys can't, just reach out because we can talk
let
about
us
it.
Yeah.
But this will reach everybody when they're meant to reach it.
Yeah. There's a lot of really good YouTube channel or episodes with Dolores Cannon, and she does talk a lot about this kind of stuff.
Dolores Cannon's fabulous.
Yeah. So I mean, they're just short
people can
fragments.
dig into it.
Yeah, you
if
really
they need to know
more.
more.
It's brain candy, and take it with a grain of salt because you can get lost in it. So as long as you just take it for the salt that it is, and don't, it can freak people out.
It can,
but it's okay. It's there for you if you want it.
We only want to move towards the things that feel good, where there's no resistance, and we're in the flow because we want to be in that path of least resistance. So if it doesn't feel good and there's no flow, we don't need it at this time, and that's perfect.
Yeah. If it doesn't flow, it don't go.
So where can our viewers, listeners, and peeps reach out to you?
Well, we are on Instagram, sacred.earth.sun, right? That's our Instagram. But I haven't been active on there.
That's fine.
I probably will get back to that. And we are on Facebook, Sacred Earth Sun. We prefer Facebook.
Okay.
If we have to use social media right now, because it is a very big spiritual community set on working together and banding together for ascension, which I do not personally find Instagram is personally. That's my
very
truth.
Singular.
Yeah, and so you know, I haven't even been on there since they changed it, where it's like trying to be like TikTok or whatever, where it's video forward,
right?
You know, whatever. So I don't know, but
no, Facebook is a good home. That makes a lot of sense.
Do you guys do email or anything?
We do. sacredearthsun@gmail.com, and
so
then
we'll include that.
Our
in
website
notes.
will also be up and running any week now.
Yeah.
I was gonna say day now, but I was like, so by the end of February, our website, which is sacredoursun.ca,
No, I don't know.
I think. I think we did .ca, but I
It
think
doesn't
you're
matter.
right.
We can always put it in. We can find out. I have something in my eye for shizzle.
No.
So sacredearthsun@gmail.com.
Yep.
We'll put it in the notes for all of y'all. And we need to pull a card.
Okay, well, before you do that, we're just going to do a separate segment here because this is just showing 30 seconds left. So just hang
pulling a
tight.
card.
It's fine.
Oh, my eye. I fully have.
I'm just gonna
I hate it when that happens. by the
Oh.
way.
It's like a fluff.
No, it's like a full on. It's an angel in my eye. Just kidding.
Right, and also your lashes are so long, you asshole. I know you have mascara on, but
It's mascara, but
they're long.
Thank you.
Coming from a bitch
They
who
do
can't
like
get her
extensions,
lashes
but I
long.
knew
We're
they
still
weren't.
recording
I'm like,
on
they're so.
YouTube.
Oh, by the way, her lashes
It's okay.
are really long.
The thing is we still talk about the same stuff as we would on air, off air anyway.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much. Kristen's also learned how to manipulate mascara.
Amazing.
Or how about the fact that I have long fucking eyelashes?
Yeah,
You
how about
accept
that?
it.
We do. Yeah.
How about that?
Accept it.
So I bought my daughter. We just went to what?
Tiffany put on eyelashes on me in a segment. Just one. They were like these individual ones.
Yes. Okay.
So no, they were just fake.
Yeah.
Just for like one-time use.
Right.
And she's like, bitch,
You
they're
can't
the
even
same
tell.
fucking length as your eyelashes.
Yeah.
It was
I
hilarious.
can tell. Like, I obviously know there's mascara, but I've been around the block long enough that I can tell when the base you're working with is good. Yeah.
Let's see, guys. What do you want to say today? Impressive.
No, I was gonna say that I went
okay.
shopping with my daughter
Okay.
and we were going for cosmetics and she's 12
Okay.
and so she wears mascara.
Yes,
Right.
as every 12-year-old should.
Right.
I was wearing it by that age.
Yeah,
so,
it's
yes.
like obvs.
Yeah.
I
And
was grade 5, by the way.
oh wow. So she ended up buying this like $5 mascara and
Okay.
I believe mascaras are very like I worked in cosmetics for a lot of years and it doesn't matter how much you really spend on the mascara.
Okay, but wait, let me just say one thing.
Sure.
If you have no lashes like I do,
Yeah.
the shape of the brush,
Makes
the
a
thickness
difference.
of the bristles, and the formula of the mascara does make a difference. That's all I'm gonna say.
And that's what I was gonna say
Okay.
is that like it doesn't matter whether it's a $5 mascara to like a $40.
Right.
It just doesn't matter. But mascaras are like because there's so many of them. They're like DNA.
Yeah.
Like they're very specific.
Yes.
Depending on what you have.
Yes.
But she ended up finding this mascara that was like $5.
Okay.
And it was like a fiber mascara, and we both tried it on, and all of a sudden they're like touching our eyebrows.
What?
Yes.
What
Yeah, the
is
fiber
this
one.
mascara?
You know what?
Fiber optics.
I suck. I will send you a picture
Okay,
and
please.
I'll send it to you. It's like in a small section of the cosmetic
I
department.
barely ever wear mascara, but if I do, I want them to touch the top of my lids.
Yes.
Oh my god, you look
Guys.
like Betty Boop.
I want to look like Betty Boop over here.
I'll teach you.
Yes.
I'll teach you how to Dougie.
I
Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie.
Dougie.
My
It's
eyelashes are
hilarious.
very straight.
No, so you have to
and
curl them.
fine.
We're gonna curl
Oh,
them.
God, okay.
We're curling them, and
Okay.
then we're putting on my voluminous mascara that's curved brush. It's very particular.
Okay.
Light brown.
Light
No.
brown.
Yeah, sorry. Brown.
You're wearing brown mascara?
Brown, baby.
Stop. Really?
It's nice.
You know,
Interesting.
I love those brown boys. Just kidding. Okay.
You said it, not me.
No, I'm interested in all races.
Yes.
I mean, all penises.
Yes.
All races.
Yeah, all
the
the penises.
penises.
Exactly.
Guys,
Let's really get
this-
it down to brass tacks.
This
Duh.
here,
Okay.
wow.
Okay.
Hold on to your socks, vaginas, penises, because Mama's got something for y'all. Council of Light.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Divine orchestration. Helpers in the subtle realms.
Wow.
Yeah, Dad.
Wow.
Yeah, Mom. Bring it in. Keepers of the earth.
Yes.
Yay.
Okay, there you
Come on.
go. Wow.
You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you.
Yes.
love when we do these episodes, and it's only been a couple times that it's been like, okay, what does it mean?
Right. But almost always.
Always. It's like it ties exactly right into the energy of it. It never lies. It really never lies. And if we don't make sense of it, then
never lies.
We just have to accept it
and
for what it is.
You guys have been sharing with us is Earth. Connection to Earth,
which is ancestral knowledge and ancestral lineage. And Tiffany was even talking about that for her with her drum. And
oh yeah,
this is absolutely incredible, beautiful.
And how do we know we're from the Earth? Is we align with it greatly. We're only a few molecules off from being a plant.
Right. So,
and we're stardust, baby.
That's right. It's so true.
These beautiful ladies, souls, light sparks, are going to be doing a very special thing. Mm-hmm. So you'll have to check into another episode to see what they're going to be doing.
Okay. Great.
I'm excited.
Let's do it.
I'm excited.
Whoa!
Let's do it.
Okay, wait. Are we talking about the thing?
Yeah.
We're not going to say it?
Well,
why not?
You are the leaders of
Go ahead.
Yeah. Guys, it's a separate episode. You don't even have to fast forward this shit or anything. You're literally going to go to these ladies. Are going to do us a sound bath and
light languages.
In
some
prayer.
sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be very powerful, and then you guys can put this in your back pocket, save it for later. Mm-hmm. I know that when I want to get in my Zen moment, I've been actually using Kristen's meditations.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she's recorded them onto YouTube, and it's just been...
That's awesome.
Yes, because it's just... It opens up that portal for me, and I can get really deep.
Do you know what? Actually, that makes sense for me because when I do a workshop or circle, we usually almost always do a meditation. And I've had people say, because I'll be like, listen, I took this from a different recording, but the voice in recording was horrible, so I re-record the whole thing. And I'll be like, I can send you the original, because I'm not claiming I didn't write this, I didn't channel this. Sometimes we channel them, but this is a few years ago. Anyways, the bottom line is people are like, no, I need it to be your voice, me, because they get used to getting into that space. And so Kristen is that for you.
Yes,
and I would have never thought that anybody would say that.
So great.
Like, I need to hear your voice. And my brother was like, I can't have it be your voice. And I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, great. And that's okay.
Thanks, brother.
And that's what I had found with my clients. I was like, I'm outsourcing all these different things, and it's like, I just need one hub to say, here you guys go. There's meditation, sound healing.
Yes.
Vitamins, supplements, and all the things. So it's perfect.
Yeah, it is
I love
amazing.
doing it.
Yeah. And we're going to talk a little bit more because we're going to get you guys on there too.
Okay, great.
Yay!
Whoop, whoop,
Yeah.
whoop.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys for sitting with us.
Yes.
What an incredible
So
experience. You guys, your energy.
So lucky to be here.
I was so looking forward to this. I just knew it was going to be next level. So.
It was instant.
It was. I know.
So,
actually, after
community.
the circle that you guys did, I looked at you. Like, I already knew. We already knew. We kind of gave each other the eye, and then I went to you, and we were like, "Give me a fucking hug now."
Yeah, I know.
I was like, these are my sisters.
Yeah,
like,
full sisters.
It was obs.
Keepers of the earth.
Yeah.
Keepers of the earth. What can we say?
We're here.
I love you guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. We love you
so much,
too.
guys.
Ciao for now.
Mwah.